Hey, thanks for joining us for the conversation with Guns and Ammo. Today we have Rob Leatham representing Springfield Armory and Jim Tarr, Handgun editor for Guns and Ammo. And we're going to talk quickly about the new Springfield Armory Echelon that has just launched. And, Rob, tell us a little bit of why does it exist? Why do we have it here?
Well, this new one is the variation we call the compact. It has a 4-inch barrel, a shorter slot or shorter frame, basically to make the full size gun that we've already had out with a 4.5-inch barrel and a 17 round length magazine, smaller and more compact. You know how popular it is for concealed carry type guns, and this is optimizing the gun for that use.
And it's got a shorter grip module on it. Now I say grip module because inside, as you're familiar with the Echelon, it's got a chassis system described by the acronym as COG. Now, why we've been wanting more and more capacity, why we want to go down. Jim, tell me a little bit about who's the audience, who's going to be interested in this type of gun.
Well, as Rob can probably tell you, I'm weird. But
Agreed.
I carry a full-size gun and I dress around it and I have forever, but most people do not. Most people want something that they can carry easily and conceal with little to no work. And so for that, the slide length doesn't matter so much as the grip length does. And you'd be surprised just how much a little bit makes. The compact, the grip module is about 1/2 inch shorter. Yeah, your capacity goes from 17 down to 15, but it makes a more eminently concealable pistol. And then one of the things that I noticed when testing it is that the full-size gun ships with a size medium grip module, and the compact ships with a size small, and there's a difference in reach to the trigger and circumference. And it's not a lot, but you can feel it in your hand, and that also makes the gun a little bit more concealable. So you've got a 15-shot 9mm that's not heavy, that's got a great trigger, great sights, and that is concealable.
So one of the things I noticed that hasn't changed, of course, with the Echelon, you've got that great optical mounting system. Rob, can you tell us a little bit about what it'll accept? People are going to want to know out there, hey, can I attach my RMR? Can I attach my Vortex? The RMR being from Trijicon. Can I put a Leupold Delta Point Pro? Name your sight. Will it take a holosun? Tell us a little bit about the sighting system and what this pistol is capable of.
I think it'll take over 30 different specific models of sights now. The only ones that don't direct mount with the VIS system, the VIS system, variable interface system, is a series of pins that through elongated holes in the top of the slide can allow us to put the pin in the right place to indicate the optical sight, because it's different for an RMR than it is for a shield footprint than it is for a delta point. So trying to find a way to still have the direct mount, meaning that the screws that hold the sight on go into the slide, was pretty tricky, but we figured out a way with 2 sets of threaded holes and then the variable interface system to be able to take just about everything. If there's something that won't fit, I don't know what it is off the top of my head now.
It's the Acro, because it has a completely unique, different crossbar mounting system.
Right.
That's about it.
I think that, and there's also a Holosun version that has that same rail thing, but all the ones that have 2 screws that come down, I think they're all in. And the beauty of it is it does away with that attachment plate. Even models that we have, some of the Prodigy models that have a plate that actually screws onto the slide, then the sight goes into the plate. Well, it's very compact for what it is. There's no way you can have that piece in between and get the same height of the sight. And one of the things to note is that the slide was designed for the optical sight from the get-go. In the beginning, most of the guns, traditional platforms, legacy models, didn't have planned in the optical sight mounting system, but the Echelon does, and it mounts most of the sights so low that you get a good low witness with the standard height iron sights.
Got it. So with this having a shorter slide, Rob, performance-wise, do you notice anything in the handling characteristics and your grip as you present, and you're known for slapping the trigger and burning down targets fast.
Well, I'm a trigger jerker. That's how I do it. Trigger mechanism. Well, the central operating group is identical. There's no difference between the compact and full size. So whatever trigger pull you have on one is what you have on the other. The grip, as Jim described it, is the small diameter version that's slightly shorter, so it's 2 rounds shorter. But it still allows pretty much, I mean, Jim, wouldn't you say it pretty much allows a normal grip? It's not like some of the small guns, like a Hellcat, kind of leaves you hanging without a grip extension.
Yeah, it feels it feels good. And if I didn't have a full-size gun on hand, I probably wouldn't have known that there was a difference. But just going back and forth, you can feel it. And then if you put the two together, you can see it just barely. But when it comes to carry guns, sometimes perceived differences are more important to the consumer than real differences. And the fact that it's only a tiny bit smaller, the fact that it is smaller will make them more friendly to the idea of carrying it concealed.
And I know that a lot of people look at the slide length, Eric, and in the old days, I wanted slide length for the major reason was for sight radius. With optical sights anymore, I really don't care. The accuracy is the same between the two. There's not a mechanical accuracy improvement. So it's a little bit shorter. People that like the slide to be a little snappier, I suppose it's 1 ounce lighter. Maybe it feels slightly different, but I'm like Jim too. I like full size guns. I like a lot to hold on to and a lot of slide. This still has that same big gun feel, like compared to a Hellcat Pro, which in your hand, in comparison, on side, if you lay one over the other, they're probably very, very similar in silhouette. But the Hellcat Pro being so much thinner, I mean, it's just a much smaller and lighter gun. So this is the version for somebody that's trying to get the shootability of a full size and just get the size down a little bit.
Yeah, well, it falls into that Goldilocks size, where it's big enough to shoot fast and hard, but small enough to conceal.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, hey, thank you guys for introducing the Echelon Compact, and looking forward to kind of seeing what else Springfield Armory does with this platform. With that being a central operating group that's removable, I mean, this thing has a lot of potential. And even the sighting systems on it, I actually enjoy just the sights the way they are from the factory, even without an optic. I mean, there's a lot of stress and pressure, it seems like, on new customers to look at these pistols with optics on them. But I mean, let's go back to traditional sights a little bit. This thing has a great set of traditional sights, and all in all, great value. So check out the new Echelon. Rob, Jim, thank you again for joining us. Always lots of fun. Let's do it again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Mine too.